Well, this story gained a lot of attention. The U.S. Export-Import Bank has promised Petrobras, Brazil's state-owned oil company, $2 billion in loan guarantees to help finance lucrative drilling off the shores of Rio de Janeiro. This is President Obama, of course, campaigned, saying drilling really wasn't the answer to the energy issues on the campaign trail. Then there's the question of George Soros. He's the Democratic backer, the billionaire who actually sold millions of shares in Petrobras, the largest of his firm's holdings, prior to this public disclosure of the Export-Import Bank's offer of new credit guarantees. No response from the White House, saying they really have to look into this story. We're back with the panel. Fred?
Well, I think they ought to look into this story because it does catch the Obama administration with a great contradiction. Now, the Import-Export Bank, or is it the Export-Import Bank?
Export-Import.
There you go. They say, oh, well, this is not the taxpayers' money. But look, they have to get the money somewhere, and they borrow it, and the government gives the loan guarantee, and they give it to this Brazilian oil company. Where does the money come from? What if they renege on the loan? Well, the federal government pays for it. This is an agency of the Obama administration, and they're letting this money go to this Brazilian oil company to drill offshore, which they ought to be doing because there's plenty of oil there. But why not do it in the United States? There are a number of states which want to have the drilling offshore, way, way offshore. It's not going to be that if you're, lying on the beach, you're going to see an oil derrick in the surf, 100 miles offshore. Why not do it here? And the money would go a lot further. It would create more jobs in the United States. So it would ever be created in the United States by giving the money to some Brazilian firm. So this is crazy. It is a hugely hypocritical position by the Obama administration.
And Juan, the Soros connection really gained a lot of attention online because he had 22% of his holdings were Petrobras.
But he sold it out.
And he sold millions of shares right before this announcement of the, it had already happened. The guarantee had already happened.
But clearly it looked like a sort of a quid pro quo, that he was in fact being enriched because he was pumping money into the Obama campaign, Obama administration.
And we don't know the answer there.
And we still don't know the answer. But to me, this whole thing is oil and water. I do not see Fred's analogy at all. The Brazilian government and the Brazilian people had to get permission for offshore drilling immediately adjacent to their shores. The American people, even in states like Florida, Republican government, have clearly said, we don't want that kind of drilling. North Carolina, just on vacation, they don't want that kind of drilling. That's the will of the voters of the American people. Some cases they might want it,
but a lot of cases.
But I'm just saying that, there was an election. President Obama didn't hide his feelings about drilling offshore on U.S. Territory, and he won the election. Look, that's the feeling. It seems to me that what you have here is an opportunity for U.S., the Export-Import Bank, to put money into an investment that's likely to pay off. That's what they should be doing, and we should be celebrating.
The Ex-Im Bank spokesman said it's all about American jobs. If it's all about American jobs, the payoff for drilling offshore America is a lot higher. And if you're subsidizing or underwriting drilling offshore in Brazil, then you're completely undermining the reason to prohibit drilling offshore in the U.S. The reason Obama opposes it and the reason liberals oppose it is because of the environment. But by not drilling here, we simply end up having the drilling end up elsewhere, and it doesn't reduce pollution on the planet. It simply exports it into poorer countries where the safeguards are much less. For example, in Nigeria, where there are oil spills and siphoning and explosions all the time. So the net effect on the planet of drilling elsewhere instead of here is that there's more pollution and despoiling of the environment, and it reduces American jobs. It makes no sense at all.
How do you say drill, baby, drill in Brazil? I'm not sure.
Apparently they know how to do it.
I guess they know. Look, it's a PR issue.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good. Look, Juan was entirely wrong about the American public. The American public is entirely in favor of offshore drilling, particularly in Virginia, where I live.
That's it for the panel, but stay tuned for the latest fact-checking on the Democrats' health care reform bills.
Thanks for calling Ditech. How may I help you?